What's up, Online Empire Academy? I'm Joshua Woodward, your host, and I'm really excited to be here. We have a fun guest, and I know I say this all the time, but really, I'm excited about this because it's a kind of an off-the-wall product. It's Danielle from Outlaw Soaps. So how you doing?
I'm doing awesome. How are you doing?
I'm good. So she got in touch with us, and I started looking through their products and what they do, and thought it was super fun. I've heard of people making soap before, but this is totally different and just a super cool take on the whole private labeling industry and having your own product and being the brand ambassador of your product. So I wanted to have her on just to even talk about her soap, but more than that, just to talk about the journey that she took to get where she's at today. So tell us your story.
Well, it's been a long journey. We've been around for about 3 years, and just getting up on our 4th year. And I used to work in the corporate world. I actually used to work for Oprah, and I was a digital product manager. And we never made soap before we decided to have a business making soap. I mean, and that is surprising to a lot of people because a lot of people go from being hobbyists to starting their own business based on their hobby, and they start selling to their friends and stuff like that. That was never the case with us. We kind of happened upon this because we stopped wanting to live in the city, and then we happened upon a bar of handmade soap, and I was like, I just paid $7.50 for a 3-ounce bar of soap. This has got to be some margins here. And so I set down this soap one day on my counter, and I looked. I was like, there's 7 ingredients in this soap. I cannot believe that. I mean, this has got to be a business. Okay, so I started looking into it, and it turns out the ingredients and the marketing and the kind of distribution that is available to handmade soap, the startup costs. A lot of industries have a lot of really high startup costs and personnel needed, and environmental stuff, cosmetic regulations, stuff like that. FDA requirements. This was very, very easy to start. So yeah, that's kind of why we went into soap.
Gosh, it's so cool. And if you guys want to go check it out, it's outlawsoap.com, correct?
Yes, that's right. Outlaw Soaps, plural. Although outlawsoap.com does redirect. Just so you know what exciting adventures happening on our end, we live in a rural area. Part of the thing that we've done is move to an area that is pretty rural, and the PG&E guys are here to literally cut down a tree that's next to our house because it's compromising an electrical wire. So if the power goes out, if you hear a big tree crash on the house, then this will be YouTube famous.
Hey, I'm liking it already. For people who are listening, this is real, and the podcast is not working for us, and trees might fall. So enjoy the podcast. What I was going to say.
High stakes podcast.
That's the title, guys. High stake podcast. This is real. But what I was going to say was don't go look at the podcast, or don't go look at the website right now. Listen to the podcast first. Anyway. Yeah. Okay, so your guys' whole thing, I mean, you just talked about it, being kind of out in the wilderness. I mean, helping Oprah. You're probably in LA area, I'm guessing. And
we were. We
okay.
Moved. Yeah.
Yeah. So now you are, where are you guys located at?
We're in lovely Colfax, California, which is in Gold Country. It's in kind of Northern California, outside of Reno, between Reno and Sacramento.
Very cool. I'm actually in Redding, California, which is
oh, awesome. Excellent.
Yeah. Very cool. So small world.
Yeah.
So, I mean, obviously, for those listeners who think Colorado, that think California is like all beaches, it's not. And, there's a ton of mountains and beautiful landscape. That's my plug for California. Anyway, you guys are now living kind of more rugged and out there. Where did the idea for Outlaw Soaps come from?
Well, my husband, Russ, actually is the naming genius behind our whole business. I mean, all the good names from Blazing Saddles to, in fact, the name of our company was based on Russ. He just kind of came to him as a lot of these names do. He kind of percolates on it a while, and he one day came up to me and said, "Outlaw Soaps," and I was like, "That's exactly correct." So yeah, we're living in in kind of old West Town. We're on the original transcontinental. We're on the Southern Pacific Railroad line.
Wow.
You can literally get off in Colfax, California, from the Amtrak and walk across the street, and that's where our shop is. Like we just moved. Yeah, we just opened a shop. Well, kind of. We're opening on March 12th.
So cool. So
Yeah.
you guys have your own shop. Kind of tell the story. I mean, opening a shop is a big deal. Tell a story of how you guys got there.
Well, like I said, we started in Los Angeles, and then we, through some kind of very odd coincidences, were forced to move to Oakland because my husband was managing a property. He had a really awesome loft in Oakland that he had sublet out. His friend no longer could sublet it. So we were like, well, we either lose his awesome Bay Area apartment, or we quit my job at Oprah and put everything into this small business that we've started and just go for it. And obviously we just went for it. So I quit my 6-figure-a-year job, and we went up with one contract. Like we had a contract through fab.com, and they were our first ever wholesale order. And we had just an open purchase order and a whole field of dreams, that was it. And so we moved to Oakland. I don't know, about Bay Area real estate. So
Yeah.
A free place in Oakland, because he was managing the building, is very hard to come by in Oakland. So we knew if we didn't keep it, we would lose it. So free rent for opening, just a starting business is something that is golden. Right. I mean, so here we are living in like the worst neighborhood in Oakland. And, our brand is very rustic, very outdoorsy, very, authentic-y. And we're living in the real Wild West with real people shooting. Like, and I'd go outside and there'd be like new bullet holes in the building. And I'm like, wow, this is amazing. Like, this is not at all our brand. So, we had to kind of, not exactly fake it, but just kind of work our world around the fact that we were living in this really, really hard part of town. And then last year we moved out to Antioch, which is a little more further away from civilization, and then just a month ago we moved out to Colfax, which is ultimately where we really wanted to be. Like when we started this in Los Angeles, we kind of, made our way up the coast and out to Colfax, which is terrific. So that's kind of how we got here. We haven't opened the shop yet. It's the grand soapening, as we call it.
Oh, yes.
Right. Oh, no, I didn't. Yeah, so the grand soapening is on March 12th. I can't take credit for that one. That was my best friend.
I like it though.
Thanks. And why we decided to open a shop is largely because it seemed like it would be a good idea to have a place that people could kind of come see our process. And we needed a climate controlled place doing things, soap making is chemistry. And at its very basic, it's kind of like, it's like the legal version of Breaking Bad. We call it Breaking Bath, actually. I'll send you a graphic that we have.
Gosh,
And so, it's chemistry. And so it requires consistent humidity and temperature. And it's kind of a touchy thing. And so if you screw up a batch, in Antioch, we did it out of a garage. Some days it was 30 degrees. Some days it was 114 degrees. And this caused a huge, we lost batches of soap because of this difference and stuff like that. So we decided that the next place we moved had to have, just for our own personal protection, had to have consistent temperature and humidity. So that's kind of why we found a place that had that. And then it happened to have a shop opened, that was available next to it. So we were like, well, let's open a retail shop. That would be fun. So yeah, it's been really kind of like the follow the fun.
That's so cool. I love it. Now, I have one question for the people who are listening. Danielle has blue hair, and I'm a little concerned. Does your soap make blue hair?
We would have an entirely different market if that was the case. I mean, I think people who have tried to dye their hair blue know that it's not the easiest process. So, and I'm lucky because I'm a natural blue hair. But just kidding.
That'd be impressive.
But yeah, our hair, no. In fact, we appeal to mostly like rugged individuals, natural people with facial hair and natural hair colors. And, basically, I mean, I think that just basically my hair color has always been blue. It just was, I've revealed it to be blue, before it was black. So yeah.
I love it. I love it. It's so fun. I mean, I just love the whole idea. I love that you guys went for it. One of the things I love about hearing stories, and I know our audience does too, is people who said, okay, like I'm going for it and I'm going for what I enjoy. I love what you just said. I'm following the fun. And that's something that so many people forget to do. And it makes me so sad because I mean, it takes faith. It takes a step. You've really got to step out. And I mean, I love podcasting and it's something that I'm following the fun in that. And that's why I bring people like you on, because I see that, oh man, there's some fun content here. Let's go for it. And I one of the things I wanted to ask you was you're hand making this stuff and there's a group of people. I know there's audience members who are listening right now who know how to make something handmade, but haven't taken that leap. What would you say to them?
First of all, it's a business. So if you want to make a business out of this, know that it's a business. It's not a hobby. Once you start selling things, you have to make every decision a business decision, not an emotional decision. And I think a lot of people look at their handmade product and think, I could maybe sell this for a couple dollars. That's not the right approach. Don't think of what you can sell it for. Think of managing your margins. Think of it as a business. Like, think of it as, I have to cover my costs, multiply that by 2 so that you can sell it, wholesale, like that's the basic sales for it. And then you have to multiply that again. So it's basically 4 times the cost plus your overhead, plus, packaging and all that stuff and all your labor. Like, don't approach it as what could I sell this for? Approach it as what is the right business decision for how to price this.
I think that you nailed that right there, because it really is, the handmade market. It's a tough business to hop into if you're wanting to make a living off of.
Yeah. Well, and people also, makers always devalue their stuff because they think I can make this, so somebody else could. So why wouldn't they make it themselves? No, that's not actually true. People don't have the resources. People are creative in different ways. Some people are writers. I'm a writer. I actually don't make the soap. Russ makes all the soap because my attention to detail is just not soap making attention to detail. I mean, you have to get within 1/10 of an ounce, and I don't have time for that detail. And so some people can make stuff and some people can't. And so to think, I like making this, so I shouldn't charge as much for it, or, I made it so somebody else can make it. No, just because you made it means that only you can make that thing. So, don't look at it as like, what would people pay for this? Or what can I like making this, so I shouldn't charge as much. Charge as much as it requires, like to cover your costs.
That's so cool. One of the things that, you're talking and it's kind of hitting me because just a little insight, Empire. I'm going to let you in on to one of my favorite product niches, and that's estate pipes. They are like, I try to stay in the 50s range, but like the 1950s tobacco pipes. And
oh, cool.
Totally. They sell for really cheap on eBay. And then I go in and I have a skill set to restore them. And it's totally hitting me because I'm like, oh man, I know that I could go for the $60 range, but I priced mine at $35. And I know that people would buy these pipes at a $60 range because of what I'm doing and what I'm putting into them. And by the way, if people want to hop in on this niche, it isn't easy, but there is money to be made on it. And it is a fun one to do if you know what you're doing. But it's speaking to me because I know that I know that I could price it higher, but I think about the person buying it, and I get emotional about that. And I think that it's really good that, run it like a business, not like a hobby. That's so good, man.
Oh, well, I'm glad that that was useful to you. And also, I mean, seriously, people will pay for what they want. And what I said, like I was standing in Whole Foods once watching people buy products, and I had the realization that as long as people are checking their brand new iPhones for their bank account, even if they're broke ass people, if you can check on a $700 phone how much money you have, you want what you want and you will pay for it. Like, you will invest the money to get a nice phone if that's what's important to you. If you want really nice pipes, you will invest the money in a nice pipe. You will make the money to afford that interest of yours. So making sure that, I think, you could charge whatever you feel is like the right price for it. Cover your time, cover your costs. Absolutely. And I don't have an interest in restoring pipes. That is something that I would have to really develop an interest in, and it just isn't there. So you have your exact perfect niche market, which is, restoring these things. And you got to, absolutely find your market, like talk to those people, and they'll pay what they want to for it. There is a market.
Yeah, I think one of the things, I'm a part of all these forums and groups, and people are always, they're handmade pipes. It's a dime a dozen, and they sell for fantastic money. And there's only a tiny community actually restoring these pipes. And so I've been afraid to post it because, number one, I don't want people coming in on my niche. I'm not afraid of that anymore. That's not a fear for me anymore, because I know what I'm doing and I know how to do it well. But at the same time, I haven't joined more forums, and I haven't been more a part of those discussions where ultimately, you're exactly right. Those people are the customers who are willing to buy the, $700 iPhone, if we're going to use that example. It's I need to be better about going to my niche. And for those of you selling private label products, I know that a lot of our listeners do. Be a part of the niche. Actually own your brand. We've been talking about brand ownership. We've been talking about marketing. We've been talking about all of that. One of the things I haven't touched on is being a part of forums, and exactly what you're doing. You actually moved so that your brand fit your lifestyle. And that, to me, I so appreciate that, and so respect that you moved and shifted everything so that you were more comfortable. You opened up a shop. That's so cool. That's so exciting, and blessings on that, because that's a fun venture. But it's just I love what you're saying of run it as a business. And I know we just had somebody on talking about books. She hand makes cool lamps and pot holders and stuff out of old books and she sells them on Etsy. For those of you who are inspired by that, be inspired by Outlaw soaps, because this is another thing that I love that you just took this idea and ran with it. It's so cool.
Well, it's interesting because first of all, it's a 360 thing. We were basically the people who we are today when we lived in Los Angeles and started this thing. You could say the chicken was first. You could say the egg was first. We found this place because we love this kind of thing. And we did when we were in LA. And when we were living in a warehouse, it just is really, and we talked about having fun and following the fun. I have long described my career as like a puppy running through a field. You find something interesting, you roll in it. It's not interesting anymore, you move on. There's so many things to roll in. There's so many things to have fun with. And I think being involved in the community, the best part about being part of knowing your brand, knowing your market and everything, is being able to be friends with the people who are your customers. And if you find the right niche, if you find the right market, you will surround yourself with customers who actually are really awesome people. As you can well imagine, you've read our website, you've read our blog and everything like that. Our customers are so freaking awesome. They are funny. They're outdoorsy. They drink a ton. They post really sarcastic stuff. They are like hysterical, awesome people. I'm Facebook friends with a bunch of our customers now and we even have a freaking online group that is dedicated to people who are kind of the stakeholders of our business. It's called the Outlaw Labs. And we run, here's our new mug design. Here's our new packaging design. What do you guys think about this? And the people on that forum are so awesome. They're so funny. They're so charming. And so if you figure out who you want to surround yourself with and you build a market around those customers, then you will always enjoy your customers. I mean, our customers are forgiving of us screwing things up. We are so, it's just us. So we screw things up, like not all the time, we would not have a business, but we screw a lot of shit up. I mean, pardon me. We screw a lot of things up and, and our customers forgive us because that's the kind of people we've surrounded ourselves with, and that is the wonderful thing about finding a niche market is you can figure out who you want to surround you. I mean, it's like a marriage, really. You like to decide who you want to be married to, and that's your market,
Thank you so much. I feel inspired. I feel like I have practical tools, even for the things that I've been working on and for the stuff that I'm excited about, because I just ordered a bunch of pipes and I just started restoring them again. And I feel like I have kind of a more realistic expectation of I actually need to price them appropriately. And I need to do things not necessarily just for my customers, but also for me and my business. So thank you. I feel like I have some good takeaways from this. And Empire, please go check out Outlaw Soaps. If you guys are ever in California, go check out their shop. Go support them. And thank you again for coming on and all that you've brought to the table.
Oh, well, thank you so much for having me. It's really exciting to be able to share, the enthusiasm of being an entrepreneur, because that is really what it's about. It's just about, I think entrepreneurs are a really different sort of people. And you're an entrepreneur, and it's just like, we have to be a little insane. We have to be a little optimistic. And I think that that's really great. So I'm glad that you're on that journey too.
Absolutely. Well, thank you. And
Cool.
Empire, again, go check out outlawsoaps.com. I'm so happy that you guys joined us today. And if you want to know more about us and anything we're doing, you can go to our website at theonlineempireacademy.com. You can also go to YouTube at the same address, The Online Empire Academy, and Facebook, same thing, iTunes, same thing, Stitcher Radio, Podbay, all the above, guys. And again, thank you for coming and just joining us on this journey. Until next time, Empire, have a fantastic day.